Alright ladies, have you ever found yourself so consumed with wanting a man that it feels like your entire world revolves around him? When he texts you first, you feel like you're on top of the world, but the second that he's distant, you're spiraling into anxiety. But at the end of the day, the harder you try to hold on, the more it feels like he's slipping through your fingers. Attachment is a powerful force, but when it's directed in the wrong way, it can negatively take over your thoughts and in some cases, your life. When your happiness becomes tied to someone else's actions, okay, that is absolutely not love, nor is it healthy. In plain terms, it's codependence. My name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker, and today we're going to talk about the importance of detaching from the man that you want so you can stop chasing and come back to feeling grounded and aligned with your higher self. Okay, so let's begin. Number 1, understanding attachment. Okay, so let's begin with this principle. When you're overly attached to someone, okay, you hand him control over your emotions, both the highs and the lows. He becomes the one who dictates your happiness, your sadness, and even how you perceive your worth as a woman. I mean, tell me the truth, ladies. How often have you let a man's text or lack of one determine how you feel about your entire day? How many hours have you spent checking social media to see if he liked your post or if he read your message or watched one of your stories? And this only happens because you tied your identity and sense of self-worth to this person. Because behind every anxious or insecure attachment lies the same underlying fear, and that is the fear of loss, of rejection, or even death. Whether that's the death of a relationship, a part of your identity, or your sense of stability. And when you're scared, what do? You chase, you scramble, you overcompensate, and you cling to a man who may need space, who may be unsure, or who may not even be right for you. This philosophy has changed my journey in so many ways, and that is that I only want people in my life who are genuinely excited to be there. I even apply this with my clients, by the way. Like, do you think I want to coach one-on-one every single person that watches my content? I really don't. I only want those who are delighted to learn from me. And the same goes for your relationships, okay? A man should feel deeply grateful that he's found you, that you exist, and he sees you as the best thing that's ever happened to him. Why would you ever want or settle for anything else?
This is where these attachment issues come from. We don't know how to sit with the discomfort of someone not texting us back. We don't know how to sit with the discomfort of somebody wanting to have an emotional conversation. We don't know how to sit with the discomfort of someone rejecting us or somebody critiquing us or whatever it is. We throw it onto the person that we're with to make me feel better. Fix this. I don't want to feel my feelings anymore, so you have to take away my emotional experience right now. And that's just not how it works. That is why you actually end up feeling insecure in your relationships, because it's almost like you have completely taken your power and put it outside of your body. Like, it is impossible to feel safe when you do that.
Number 2, perspective. Epictetus once said, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from a judgment about them." And this couldn't be more true when it comes to relationships, right? The way that you perceive a situation can make all the difference between detaching or staying stuck. I have spoken to so many women who tell me things like, "He wasted 3 years of my life," or "I can't believe I gave in so much of my time." And my response is always the same. What if he had wasted 25 years and a whole marriage, okay, instead of 3? Consider yourself lucky that you got out when you did. Or if you're going through a painful separation or the worst heartbreak that you've ever experienced, I would ask you, what would it take for this to become an amazing turning point in your life? And suddenly, you might start shifting your focus, and instead of dwelling on the pain, you begin thinking about the lessons that you can learn and the opportunities that might come from letting go what no longer serves you. It is all about perspective. Also, if you attach to the belief that this one man that you met is the only one, okay, your soulmate and your only chance for true love, you're setting yourself up for immense suffering if things don't work out. I encourage you to think of love like choosing a sports team. You pick a team and over time you grow to love it through the wins and losses, but that doesn't mean, okay, that you could have only loved that team. It just happens to be the one that you chose. Like I always tell you, no one is inherently special, only your mind makes them so. But if you're watching content about finding your soulmate and your twin flame and all these things, I promise you, you're setting up yourself for a lot of pain. Because sometimes the person that you think is the one here to teach you what you don't want in a partner. They didn't come into your life to teach you about the love that you want. They came to teach you about detachment, moving on, and letting go. And final, number 3, unfamiliar feeling. Now, let me point out that detaching from someone you love can feel scary, confusing, or even wrong. And that is because detachment is often misunderstood by most people. When you spent so long tying your happiness to someone else, the idea of letting go can feel foreign or even frightening. And I know that when you hear the word detachment, a lot of you think, if I detach, does that mean that I don't care anymore? But the truth is that detachment is less about losing feelings and more about reclaiming control. And let me give you an analogy, okay? Detachment is like taking off a heavy backpack after a long hike. At first, it's going to feel strange because you've grown used to that weight on your shoulders. It's almost become a part of you. And in relationships, we often confuse love with carrying emotional burdens, thinking that it has to be heavy, it has to be difficult to be real. We convince ourselves that sacrificing our peace, overthinking every move, and holding on to someone tightly is just part of what love requires. But when you finally let go of that weight, you realize how much lighter and freer you feel. Detachment allows you to set that unnecessary heaviness aside so you can focus on what truly matters. Building a connection rooted in mutual respect and genuine care, not in fear or control. For example, if he pulls away or he needs space, instead of overanalyzing his every move, detachment gives you the power to say, that's okay. I'll focus on what I need right now. Instead of pouring all your energy into trying to win him back, okay, you channel it into your passions, your friendships, your goals. And when you do this, you'll find that something incredible happens. Not only do you feel lighter and more grounded, but he's going to notice that shift in your energy, and that's going to make you more magnetic. And finally, let me say that detachment is about learning to trust yourself, okay? And cultivating the unshakable belief that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Like I always tell you here on the channel, the only love that you can trust is the love that you give yourself, okay? And that should be the foundation that you rely on completely. All right, ladies, so let me finish by saying that if you're struggling to detach from someone, okay, maybe you're chasing him or maybe you're trying to win his love, I want you to pause for a second and think about when you were 5 years old. Would you as a little girl be worried about love and finding your soulmate? You wouldn't, right? You will be exploring life, laughing, learning new things, and finding joy in the world around you. So reconnect with that part of yourself because that little girl still lives within you. And for today's comment, we have Justice Vibes 1252 who wrote, I stopped caring when he said, I'll eventually commit to you. What a joke. I knew right there and there that he was not the one for me. I wasted years on that man, never again. Well, like the analogy that I always give, if you offer that man $1 million, I doubt that he's going to say, well, I'll eventually take it. So good for you for walking away from that relationship. Anyways, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad that you chosen me to learn about self-love, dating, and relationship dynamics. Because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change. Have a beautiful day.